Into the lower round again we find ourselves. Who would have thought that Team Queso and NRG would find themselves in this position? But regardless, what could be one of the final hopes for Europe finds themselves against the General. Subi, this is going to be a tough one.
I cannot believe the #1 seed from North America is going up against the #1 seed from Europe in the lower brackets. And all they need is one series win to make it to this weekend to be in front of all of you lovely fans.
NRG's road here came through mostly Renegades. 2 wins back-to-back. Garrett shooting about 50% yesterday, started to slow down, but overall for the event, 5th place at 35 across the board. He's got to have that same kind of performance. NRG desperately looking just for some chemistry off rip. But for Queso, a lot of it comes through the volume of shots, Subi. They've been unrelentless on the backboard.
They definitely have, and Vatira gets a nice 50-50 challenge in that corner. And I agree with you. If NRG is going to be successful, the general of NRG, Garrett G, has to step up here. 2v1 situation for Team Queso. Good 50-50 challenge. It's going to wrap around front of the goal and saved by Garrett G.
Speed through the corners for Team Queso has kept them ahead of most of their games so far this weekend. But when we look at the length of these series, it will come down to the composure. NRG, one of the best at bat with a double tap towards the backboard. Joyo getting the rebound nicely around the side, but cleared away again. NRG trying to get back to midfield, stifled for the moment as Queso try to find possession, but back to the blue side.
Yeah, I think experience is going to be a crucial factor here for NRG. So many moments like this they have been through, and you know how desperately they want to be back in front of a live audience as Garrett G has to race back on defense, gets that boost, so Rise has to try to rotate out, and he's going to get this ball towards midfield. Rise, on his way out, does demo Squishy, and so far, almost a minute and a half into this game, a stalemate, shot on target, turned away. Justin had a good look.
And the pressure's been on. NRG have answered the call, but you have 2 regional championships on the other side. Team Queso coming into this major, heavy favorites for the European side to potentially walk away with a victory. So far, they've run into a bit of stalemates, but in this instance, we still fight for possession through the corner yet again. A couple of chippy shots, trading blows here and there. Still 3 minutes to play as Joya will go up for this one, looking for the juggle. We'll get it over one. The pass down to Rise, and Rise can't get it. Vatira there. Opening goal, Team Queso.
Yeah, and it looked like Garrett G left alone on an island back in the blue half for quite a while. The initial shot was stopped, and not much more you can do there if you're Garrett G. Squishy just a second too late, and Vatira puts in the first one for Team Queso.
That wonderful dichotomy of Rise in the air and Vatira on the ground. You can almost bank on it. And so far, Queso do find themselves ahead, but still plenty of time in game number 1. Once more, this best of 5 does settle quite a bit. Loser goes home, winner continues on.
Oh, nice little pass off the backboard, utilizing the 4th teammate, but Justin had no one there available for him, and great boom downfield. Garrett G forced in an awkward position, and expect to see those infield passing plays from Team Queso often in this matchup. I think they're one of the best teams at utilizing the entire wheelhouse of tricks that they have. And you've always got to have your eyes peeled as Rise trying to keep things alive and forcing all 3 members of NRG to go, and Garrett G gets up off the backboard trying to get this ball cleared downfield.
One of the longer sustained drives here for Team Queso. At the midfield, it has been NRG, but into the sidewall, into the corners, those interceptions for Queso have kept them upfield for now. Rise playing once more on the other side. Vatira trying to get back to the corner, will get boost, a pass to the midfield. The shot from Justin, but he gets a little bit too far on the outside of the ball, Subi.
I don't think that he thought the defender was going to whiff that badly, as Garrett G had nothing in the tank, and somehow NRG keep that ball out of the goal, goes off of the goal line, and Team Queso still maintaining pressure, and finally NRG break out.
3 shots and 1 goal for Vatira. Joyo on the opposite end has been playing great as a goalie, getting the pressure away. Team Queso desperately looking for a clear now, but pressure from NRG. It's a wide open net. Rise able to circle back into the lane to cut it down. Pass out yet again. Justin once more. Vatira blocks. Squishy backboard. Here comes Justin. NRG pressing. NRG trying, but they just can't find the goal.
Yeah. Looks like it's the final seconds of game 1, and finally Justin gets it to go. Took him a while to heat up on offense, but they get it to go minute 28 in game 1.
Sigh of relief, but in traffic, the General do find the angle in the opening. The lower right post, Justin able to connect. Tie game with a minute 28 to go. Game 1, so far, been all of the midfield pressure from NRG, but don't count out Team Queso just yet. They've been able to get the ball in the air and keep it out of Garrett's hands.
Yeah, and I think really boiled down to the aggression that we've seen from Rise. So often he's going downfield, looking for demos, looking for bumps, just trying to get NRG uncomfortable on that back half as Joyo dumps that ball, and Justin gonna read it. The ball's off the backboard, and great clear there from Vatira. You had Squishy lurking, playing that spy position, and NRG starting to feel like they're just pushing further and further into this orange half as Joyo gets the save, and Garrett G misses wide.
That's got to be a goal for NRG. They had the pressure there from Justin, who rotated through the net, but the clears from Team Queso deny it once more. The wall's certainly there in game one, and now a booming side to the other field. That sentence makes sense somewhere. 45 seconds to go. Still a tied game. Pressure here and possession for Joyo. Trying to get it over Garrett. Unsuccessful.
Oh, great clear there from Justin, recognizing where Team Queso was, goes opposite side of the field, right towards the center line mark as Rise. Nobody up to contest. Garrett G finally there. Ball goes directly up, and Joyo keeping things alive. Team Queso, final 30 seconds to go. Just need one, and he looked for the bump. Couldn't quite find it.
Seen a lot of pressure towards the backboard for both teams, but not a lot of extensions. Those offensive rebounds on the carry as Joyo trying to get a little bit cheeky, but the general read it perfectly. Down to the corner we go. 8 seconds now in regulation for game number one. Who's going to find the go-ahead as Garrett slowly waiting for his opportunity. Still up for NRG, pressure here. And that one should touch the corner. It will. We go to extra time.
I feel like this is going to be the story of this entire series. Both teams so closely matched. And overtime, game number one, as that pass just off of its mark. I think Team Queso was expecting from NRG to go up for that ball and disrupt it somewhere in midair, but no one went. And still, NRG boxed in their own half. Rise going up, but gets the ball off the ceiling. Look for double tap, can't quite find it.
These interesting cuts on the cross from Vatira that start to scare me a little bit. NRG's defense can't block that! Vatira from the elbow!
Taking game number one off of NRG. Vatiro does it himself, and that angle is disgusting. All the way from the right-hand side, hitting it inside the left post, and NRG find themselves down one in the series.
I mean, if this is how this series will play out, the closeness between these two teams, you take a look at the scoreboard here, it's just back and forth. That midfield pressure was essentially 50-50 for most of the game, but when it came down to a lot of the pressure through the corners, Team Queso, one of the best teams at it, let alone in Europe. And it paid off there, Subi. They had the majority of the ball touches, the demos, and the shots to boot. It was a clean game from Queso.
It was, and it felt like the general NRG started to push forward in the second half of game number one, but right when overtime start, it clicked something inside of Team Queso, and they just dominated throughout all 24 seconds. Yeah, it wasn't long, but you don't need it to be long when it's only 24 seconds long and you're finding yourself with that many shot attempts. It's just insane how Vatira does this time and time again.
And if there's one thing the Queso have proven time and time again in those regional championships, they know how to clutch up. That's one of the biggest factors for them. You can't teach that. You can't go against it. You have to prepare for it. And Queso certainly proved that in the opening OT.
Yeah, getting both goals for Team Queso is Vatira, and still, Joyo not doing anything in terms of goal participation. And when that kid wakes up is when Team Queso is at their most dangerous. And for NRG, they have got to try and come out of the gates a lot faster. We know that they're slow to start in the group stage. That was present. I mean, got third in Group B as Furia just kind of ran through that and dominated everyone. But right now, from 5 minutes till the end of the game, they need to make it go time.
Waiting for something to kickstart the general. You're looking at three of the best shooters at this LAN so far statistically, playing one another on the field. Squishy at 37.5%. Can he have that same success? Can he potentially pump it up to 40? What a stat that would be. But so far, so good. 30 seconds burn. Into game number two we go on Forbidden Temple. It's possession here for Team Queso. Down to the corner we go. Garrett missing one. Rise on the pass. Will it get intercepted yet again?
And again, NRG just forced to boot that ball all the way downfield. Infield pass. Joyo turned away. And Team Queso have had pressure this entire first minute, just boxing NRG. But still, NRG doing fine in terms of boost usage as Justin and Squishy just content getting those small pads. Is Garrett G going to pop that one up to Squishy, but can't quite beat out Joyo. And a minute come and gone, and it has been all Team Queso.
Garrett was finally able to escape towards the corner and get some resources. So you have boost to burn here if you're NRG to get back to midfield. Look for a booming clear, but you want to get this one out as quickly as possible. Once more, that offensive pressure from Team Queso can feel very overwhelming, especially early on in a brand new game. Joyo is looking for something else, but instead, we go back down to the turf. Vatira popping it up. Right back down
Oh my
around
gosh.
1. NRG coming up for the challenge. Another 50 goes Vatira's way. But a bit of traffic now into the corner. There's now nobody, neither team, really getting the clean touch.
Yeah, but still, another demo coming out for Team Queso. It has just been 3 for them and nothing for NRG. Right now might be the time to utilize a defensive demo, give yourself a little bit of space, a little room to breathe, try and start the offense. And NRG, speaking of offense, looking for their first push here, but no, it's going to be 1v1. Rise, Garrett G turns that one to the side, pushes it towards midfield, and looking to get things set up.
First time the NRG do break out. Justin's up to meet the ball.
There it is.
Garrett in position, blocked yet again. Team Queso on the defensive end have been stellar in this series so far, but it just seems like the General are gearing up for something good. And with that touch to the corner, this could be the start.
Yeah, a rare double commit there for Justin and Squishy, both going off the ball and neither one calling one another off. So puts them out of possession, going to turn this ball over right to Queso. Queso doing a great job at constantly changing things up and forcing NRG to think so hard at what are they going to do next? How are we going to combat this? And right when they find the answer, that's when Team Queso changes it up again. The bump off the back wall, but Vatira comes in last second.
That circle from Garrett, we're expecting maybe a bump towards the goal line, but instead trying to get the quick cut into the lane to pull up for a shot. It just doesn't land. About 2 minutes burned here in game number 2. It's been all of Team Queso with the possession, but finally, NRG starting to show some life. They just need to convert it into an opening goal, get themselves on the board. A little bit of a chip shot, we give one back on the possession. Joyo will extend it towards the corner, so here we go for Team Queso, but yet more. It seems like NRG are reading some of these connections quite well, and they're taking the ball away.
Yeah, and with all that said, all of the offensive pressure that Team Queso has had, because it's felt like it's been all 3 minutes of this game so far, still Team Queso yet to find the mark. NRG doing a great job at not only holding on in that back half, but also not panicking. And we've only seen one double commit. It has been that offensive push from Justin and Squishy, but the communication on point right now, and you better believe Garrett G behind all of that.
NRG doing a very nice job of keeping the ball on the ground when they can, limiting the shots, but Vatira looking for Joyo. It's a 1-2 give and go. All members from Team Queso up now. This is a huge commit past midfield, and that back pass starts to help slow down the pressure.
Definitely.
Give Vatira time to move upfield. NRG were looking for the counterattack.
Well, and it all came because Squishy went for that defensive demo, and Team Queso recognized, okay, we don't have the advantage now, and just dump that ball backfield, wait for your player to spawn back in, and that is the picture-perfect decision right there to make as Justin goes up, has a lot of boost to follow through, but gets denied. Right there is Garrett G, a little too slow to this ball. Final minute has come, and still all not enough.
That's 2 demos now for NRG on the offensive side of the field. That orange half completely dominated by the boys in blue. Justin with a shot, saved away into the corner. Justin circling back up once more. Needs some boost here. NRG not willing to concede that midfield line as Squishy goes for the challenge. And a neutral ball will hang towards the midfield. Rise takes it away. Under 1. Defended by Garrett. Back out to Squishy. We trade possessions yet again.
A monster 50-50 there for Garrett G. Gets a lot of that ball to go in the majority of his favor as Vatira beats out Garrett G there, and here comes Squishy. Final 30 seconds remain, and you know, if you got to go one side, you got to put all in on NRG to score with nothing on the clock. But here comes Vatira trying to outdo them, and Justin denies. But still, another shot on target denied by Garrett G as this ball wraps around the corner.
The first touch comes
bump
after the second engagement towards the goal line. 1 second to go. Rise has done this before. Ball still in the air, still around. It's a wrap, cleared out by NRG. And yet again, in back-to-back games, we go to golden goal opportunity.
And composure on all 6 player faces, and great move there from Garrett G to bump Rise off of that ball, realizing, oh no, I got beat on this kickoff. All he needs to do is get a touch, put it on target. Instead, takes the player out of the equation, no shot present.
Been about as airtight as you could ask for both these teams.
Oh,
Vatira, what a shot! Squishy, what a save! Joyo still on the goal line, but into the corner, it's NRG, starting to breathe a little bit more heavily now. Squishy with possession towards midfield, just can't get a clear touch. Garrett should be there. With that redirect, you start to slow things down.
Insane solo defensive performance there from Squishy on the back line. I cannot believe that he was able to get through the aggressive bump and still make the save and keep it out as Justin gets the redirect, pops it over to the defender, and NRG tie us up.
When you needed Justin to find something sweet, he comes up big. Squishy with a great pass. And that half flip right above the defender will find its home for a Game 2 victory. The General NRG not up our series at 1 apiece.
Holy smokes, a defensive battle through and through between both teams. And how about the amount of opportunities the Team Queso had? 10 shots on target. and turn over to the page to General NRG, only 5. So, I mean, we watched it on the field. We saw, okay, it feels like Queso's got control, and the stats showing exactly that as we go to our Mobile One high-performance replays.
5 demos for Team Queso in this game, too, but they weren't able to convert any of them. An immaculate save from Squishy that kept them in this game. And Justin with the wherewithal just to be in position in case something comes his way. You can see the sigh of relief there for Justin. Just, hey, finally, we found something. Maybe that's what it is, Subi. You know, with a lot of championship runs, regardless of the position you're in your bracket, a good bounce, a good touch, a quality goal, something lucky. It always has to bounce your way. That is just a great opportunity for NRG.
Well, and I love that play as well because Squishy's putting a shot on target. So Vatira has to respect that. And he has to respect the fact that Justin's going right towards him. Is he going for the bump? No, he's going to completely change things up and go for that redirect. So just constantly changing what they're doing on offense. Great play from NRG. And the ability to hold on, that's where that experience is really going to come in handy.
Off the kickoff, Team Queso, we're looking for the opener. But going into this matchup, it's Rise talking about the kid himself. 20 total goals with that one in this tournament.
Absolutely impressive here. I love the dish from Vatira going top of the box. Rise barely even has to move off of his path to get that shot on target. And 7 seconds into game number 3, Queso put themselves up 1.
It's a big goal to reestablish some confidence for Team Queso, but we still got plenty of time, folks. We hope you're enjoying it. Welcome in. See how things play out. Vatira popping it high. Trying to play it through the corner. Nicely read by Squishy. Getting it back out to Garrett, who will extend on the first touch. One yet again by NRG on the possession game. Right over the backline defense. Right on a shot. Better save from Vatira. Better quality attempt. And NRG are here to take it away.
Justin smartly puts that ball back into the corner, and he's going to have some space, some room. And Garrett G deleted off the field. Justin just has to go under the crossbar. He does so surely, and NRG tie us right back up.
Depth perception can be tough, but the quality bounce and the read from Justin, the patience to make sure you secure the angle, nicely done. NRG find themselves yet again in a tie game.
And talk about consistency. So far, Justin, a goal in every single game of this series so far. And that's been the story for NRG. Only 1 goal per each game, and right now we're still waiting to see Garrett and Squishy kind of wake up on the offensive half.
Oh, with this congestion at midfield. We're looking for more for Team Queso on those infield passes to start establishing some presence, pulling defenders off the play, giving yourself room to breathe. It's Squishy right down to Justin yet again. Could it be 3 goals in a row for the young one? Instead, it's NRG's ball. Garrett flip reset, immediately challenged by Joya.
Yeah, and that's the difference between EU and NA, at least when it was the fault major. Nice hard shot turn from Garrett G, but the amount of space given from both regions, Europe is just a stranglehold at all times, not giving any space, any freedom as Rise comes off the ceiling. Doesn't have much boost, can't follow it up, but Joyo sure can, and goes too high off the crossbar, and again Vatira hits the crossbar. Opportunity thrown by the wayside for Team Queso.
Well, the pressure continues. Team Queso don't want to give up the field advantage they have now. The gaps are there, the opportunity starting to form once more. Rise looking for the connection, but instead cut off by NRG. All 3 pushed up, but Squishy will fall back in rotation. And on the transition down the sideline, the counterattack stalls. NRG don't have possession.
Oh, and here comes Squishy, and you saw Garrett G going up on the backboard, head hunting for Joyo. Didn't quite find it as Justin gets bumped off by Joyo yet again, but Garrett G going to have an opportunity to push this back into the orange half. Can't quite find the flip reset, but does push that ball through, and Joyo pushes it right back down to the blue half, and Squishy, not the greatest touch, has to retreat back into the zone goal.
That's actually a big clear by Joyo, just to give Team Queso time to get resources, get boost, and get back into the play. We'll punch it towards the sidewall. We'll contest on the sidewall. It's NRG looking for possession. A demo on the other side of the field by Garrett. Kept over from Joyo. The flipped reset almost meets it on the extra jump. And here comes Rise, putting it towards the other side. Starting to stretch out NRG laterally, trying to force them to take these one-on-ones.
I like that idea, but no one was home for that one, so immediately going to turn that ball over, and Rise Vatira breathing right down Squishy's throat as Justin going to come off the sidewall uncontested. Going to just go all the way down to the right-hand corner and try and get things set up for NRG. I'd really like to see some infield passes from them as well.
Just can't find that second touch. Team Queso have done quite a bit to try to get this one out towards first center, but cut off once more. We've traded possessions for the past 2 minutes here. Ever since that tie goal, it's been nothing short of ping pong for both these teams. And at 26. Wish I could tell you something crazy's happened, but it's been a non-stop battle to the corner, back to midfield. A big pinch by Squishy, trying to set up something nice to Garrett. That one will fall shallowly as Rise will circle around, trying to get it back out to midfield. Yet again, we pop it high. NRG are there. Squishy. Love to see if that was a pass out, but instead, we take a shot and we give it right back.
Yeah, and this is just a classic, oh, that's a dangerous bounce coming out of the corner as Justin goes up, puts it under, and no, denied by the crossbar. Team Queso, NRG can't find it, but Justin, second try, finds it, and NRG up one late in game number 3.
And they mounted that pressure for what seemed like 2 minutes. Team Queso didn't have much to answer for it. They couldn't get it out on a booming clear. And NRG capitalized on the overwhelming nature of those backboard reads. It's a lead for the General. 48 seconds to go here in game number 3. What would be a series lead at 2-1 if they're able to hold on. But here comes Team Queso. Rise all the way to the backboard. Rise right down. It's the Reaper playing bingo. Rise, the equalizer.
Team Queso refused to be denied as he goes up. Double tap is good. And the angle goes just in front of Garrett G. Team Queso so fast out of the transition from defense to offense. And I'm telling you, this is one of the best series of the week, and I cannot believe that this is just the start to the lower bracket.
This has been a chess match for 15 minutes, and it's not going to let up anytime soon. Pawn takes pawn, but here come the Rooks. Justin, look for Squishy on the shovel pass, but intercepted quite once more. Vatira right over again. Team Queso starting to feel like they have something cooking here. The confidence right back to their strikers. Joyle looking for the pass down. The center won't be there. Justin will clear it away from NRG. 8 seconds to go. Rise keeping it up, but taken yet once more. The General pressing their advance. Vatira through the corner. 1 second. Tie game. Downfield we go. Squishy from the backboard.
Goodness.
And this one still up. We'll touch.
And our second overtime of the series. So, no, that's third. I'm so sorry about that. I misspoke. So tightly knit here as NRG trying to have a hand in an offensive push in overtime. Don't want a repeat of game number 1 where they were just pushed into their own half. Didn't even get a shot at it, but so far, back and forth we go.
Big moments come from big lands. Could we see another one? Early into our overtime, 1 goal will decide game number 3. And Rise, trying to be the player to do it, will beat 1. Great 50 from Team Queso as Vatira gets possession right back. He's got 1 player to beat. It's Squishy. Justin trying to help out. Vatira with the dunk, but NRG read it. Joyle's still there. Into the corner. 44 seconds and counting. Team Queso can't find the goal.
And Garrett G came out of the corner just completely discombobulated and somehow was still able to get a touch on that ball and save this game for NRG as Vatira trying to get a shot downfield just off of his mark as Squishy pushes it towards midfield, and here comes Vatira. Look at Garrett G just waiting on that backboard, knew that shot was coming and just puts it gladly back into the corner.
It's been a lot of patience from NRG, but when does the counterattack come? That's the big question. You're watching for Justin escaping upfield, Squishy playing high on the backboard, but once more possession here for Team Queso. Justin out to midfield, on target, will be saved. Joyo gets in front of the ball. So it's a quality shot, but not a lot of power. Justin on the center, no dunk there. Popped up yet again.
Oh, Justin got that reset, gets it over 1, gonna maintain possession and just throw an honesty check over Joyo, but Joyo puts it back into the corner. And NRG starting to slowly march closer and closer, and Justin takes advantage of the misplay from Team Queso and put themselves on match point.
Oh, that is heartbreaking. Vatira rolls the wrong way and Rise misflips. It's a quality judge, but in the end, you have to be cleaner on the goal line in overtime. NRG, 2-1 in the series now. Team Queso have to hit a hard regain.
And right now, this is just the General Justin getting 5 goals in the series. A Hattie in game number 3, doing all that he can to make sure that once again NRG will be sitting in front of a live audience.
Both these teams so respected in their own regions, respected internationally for what they've been able to pull off in our Mobile One high-performance replay, consistently showing the back and forth of both these squads. It was 1-1 for 4.5 minutes.
Rise, all he did was flip into the post, thinking he's going to land on that wall and have a play, but just bonks himself into his own net. And Justin, probably with the easiest goal that he's going to find himself all series long.
That's a tough overtime to lose, especially in game number 3. Series lead, series point for NRG going into Coliseum. What a way to close it out against one of the best opponents you're going to have all weekend if there needed to be a test for the general. Stubby, I think this does qualify.
Absolutely, and especially taking all of these games into overtime. I mean, Team Queso is the overtime killers, and Garrett G gonna take advantage of the opening kickoff mishap from Team Queso, and NRG already up 1.
Well, we might get a pause. It seemed like there could be an issue just from the face cams alone. We will get a quick replay and check with the admins, but while we have you guys kind of on this short break, Subi, looking at how both these teams currently got here. I mean, well, Queso, their only loss for the entirety so far was against V1, but that's no shade. V1 playing a ridiculous level of Rocket League.
Right.
On the other side, for Renegades, or excuse me, for NRG, they got themselves through Renegades twice. And there was a lot of question marks about the potential matchup that Renegades and NRG would pose to one another. But it seemed that NRG were able to handle a lot of the situations. But even just from the post-game interviews, they didn't seem like they were too happy with those wins. It was like, we just have to play better. We're not playing our quality Rocket League.
Well, and I don't know why it comes as a surprise. Like, that is what they're known for, coming through group stages and just walking through, and then once they get to the big race, that's when they'll start to run. So for future tournaments, for the spring major, if they can make it, that's where they've got to just come in and just start off hot and try and finish hot. But right now we've got an update that Vatira has no sound, so definitely hard to play Rocket League when you can't hear your opponents coming to demo you. You don't want that. You just want to make sure everything is on a level playing field.
Yeah, playing Rocket League with no sound, it turns into like a horror game. You realize that someone is chasing you and they are not trying to high five. But in general, for both these teams, so much on the line, so much at stake. The loser does go home. They end their run at the major. And for the first time, being back with a live crowd tomorrow through the rest of the weekend, you know that these players are absolutely fighting for every chance to play in front of that crowd. And the Winter Major has not disappointed so far.
Not even remotely. It is just storyline after storyline after storyline. And the biggest one is just fans being back in the building. And I can't stop thinking about that. I'm just so excited to see everyone that has a love for Rocket League coming out, screaming their lungs out in Los Angeles. It's going to be a great thing. And like you're saying, both these teams want to be here. All 3 members of NRG have lifted the RLCS trophy.
Yeah.
While this is a major, still major implications for the World Championship and for Team Queso, looking to play in front of a crowd for their first time, but they have NRG sitting right in front of them on match point.
Well, BDS was able to do it in Sweden. Can Queso take down the General? That's the big question. Trying to make a case for the best team in Europe, neither world. And so far, they've proven it with at least 2 regional wins. They've got the better of BDS, but they have to do it against this kind of international competition. NRG, the only players that stand in their way at the moment. But NRG in clutch time, it's almost impossible to count them out the way they're able to excel under that pressure. And Garrett, before we had a quick pause, I mean, if you're an NRG fan, you see Garrett scoring on the opening kickoff, like you're probably screaming and throwing your monitor in the air. Like, it's the best possible sign.
Absolutely, yeah. Still going to get the word on if that one's going to count or not, but it is just so fun to get the look at these players. And I want to know who it's going to benefit here with them sitting there, getting this break, getting to talk things over. You've got to think, okay, surely Team Queso right now, sure, they're dealing with sound issues, but you can take one of those headphones off, still talk through the mistakes, still talk through what's going on.
Yep.
And for NRG, you just got to stay how you been. Calm, cool, collected. Hey, guys, we've been here before. We've got one game in front of us.
Yep.
Just get the job done.
Yeah, NRG are going to be calm, cool, collected regardless of the situation, but on the other side, Team Queso are a very emotional squad. They play through the hype. They love getting excited, and they feed off that energy. So getting a chance to kind of sit down, take a pause, talk about your progressions on the field, where you can find those infield passes, how you can create opportunities and facilitate, something that has been lacking in the last 2 games that certainly would have helped them in the overtimes. Odds are Team Queso are going to have an advantage when they come back on the field, but the beauty of Rocket League is that you never quite know what might happen. As here, we have a quick update for you. We paused because Vatira had no sound, but we will restart the game from 0-0 with full 5 minutes on the clock.
That is huge for Team Queso. You do not want to go down 2 seconds into the most important game of your life.
Yep.
Already down 1 goal. So for them, they get 1 back, and for NRG, it just feels like they have 9 lives. How many opportunities are they going to get? Well, right now, all they have to do is strike first and just hold on, and they will finally be in front of that live audience once again.
Well, Vatira was in a position to make a play before that opening goal went through. They called for help before the kickoff. So everybody calm down. We got ourselves another 5 minutes of gameplay. Here we go. Game 4 on the Coliseum, NRG and Team Queso.
Oh, big miss there from Justin, and looks like RG's going to have some space. But look at the pre-jump from Vatira, coming out looking like he has played in 27 lands so far. Just the confidence on these guys just oozing from every pore.
I mean, you could look at the expressions during that pause. They were looking confident, talking to their coach, getting an idea of how they wanted to approach this game forward. Joyo just bullying his way towards the backboard. This is a ridiculous touch already from Team Queso, but you can feel the energy right now as they get a lot of these long clears.
And looks like Justin trying to find Garrett G. That ball goes up, and Justin's so fast, so speedy. Met in midair by Joyo, and look at Squishy slowing things down. That ball gets popped up, and NRG not wasting the first 45 seconds.
Very early on, NRG trying to do what they did in the opening kickoff before we reset. Justin going to play back towards the goal line. It's Rise with the interception. Justin will come out of his hole and find that one. As Garrett G looks for the connection in midfield. But I love what Team Queso are doing here, Subi. They're constantly in NRG's face, trying to take the ball away.
Yeah, just tons of respect, obviously, but there is no fear in their eyes as Justin gets Vatira out of net. Squishy can't find the mark as Rise went up, got the save. Garrett G gets it off the ceiling and puts NRG up 1.
Wow, he steps up yet again. Doesn't matter what is on the clock, where we start in this game. Garrett with a 50 off the ceiling. Right back down, lead the general NRG.
My goodness. I think he called that one too. He knew exactly what he was doing with that play, and even if that one doesn't go in, I think they get that cleanup. And Team Queso down 1 on match point. They need to fight back, but NRG looking to increase the lead.
Still plenty of time here in Game 4, but the hopes of Team Queso comes down to 1 goal at the moment. It's been a lot of strong passes downfield, not a lot of quick cuts, trying to find one another on the turf. Yet again, NRG are there on the sidewall to read that touch. As Justin getting aggressive through the corner now, has boost around. Vatira will get out with the stop. Garrett G cuts it down. Squishy now the next man up. They'll pop it.
Beautiful pass from Squishy, and Justin gonna hammer that one home. Good setup from NRG, up by 2.
I mean, this touch from Joyo kind of gave it right back to Squishy, and he just puts it on an alley-oop to Justin, who secures what looked like a free net towards the upper right post, but with 2 defenders in front, the only player you want taking that shot is Justin himself. 3 minutes to some change on the clock. Joyo winning the kickoff for Team Queso. They need a goal to start getting back in this one, and with that touch and that clear, they'll have to try again from midfield.
And right now, Team Queso unable to get any offense going here in game number 4. They're just getting pushed back, and that's one thing about NRG is, you know, they're very similar to BDS in the fact that they can just download what you're doing on offense. It might take them a game, might take them 2, but eventually they're going to figure out what you're doing and just completely stuff it.
I mean, the mid-game adjustments from NRG have been absurd. What they've been able to read through in Team Queso, taking opportunities away, taking shot time away as well, not letting Rise get up with the ball, not letting Vatira come up for second chance opportunities. Rise escaping up in a one-on-one against Garrett. The pass, the shot, it's good! Joyo, 2-1.
Joyo finally getting involved here for Team Queso, but I love the pass for Rise. A little bait, a little hook, and Joyo with the sinker, and Team Queso come back within 1.
Finally, the infield pass finds itself. Plenty of time, lead cut in half. Team Queso looking to win the opening kickoff yet again. Rise will do so. Into the corner we go. Vatira with a big demo. Numbers advantage. All here for Team Queso. It's a tie game.
Just like that, bang, bang, Team Queso's right back in it, and it all boils down to Vatira and Rise. And Rise, he has been involved with almost every single goal for Team Queso, doing everything he can to keep them in this game.
You win the kickoff, you get a demo, you find a goal. Easy as that, do it once more, you might have the lead. 2 minutes to play in Game 4, series lead for NRG. But on the comeback, it's Team Queso, and the pressure beginning to mount at midfield. Neither team getting a clean possession. There's a demo, so once more a 3-on-2 for the next couple of moments. Justin getting back into things with Squishy off the respawn.
Joyo.
Guillotine right down, no one else there. Here comes Vatira off the top bar, saved yet again. NRG get back out.
And just chaos on the back half for NRG, but Justin looking to get the clear, can't quite find it, and Squishy forced to make a save and dribble this one forward, and I love that clear downfield, reading, surveying exactly where Team Queso is, but just like that, Team Queso put themselves back on offense, and the shot just a little too inside.
Queso yet again putting so much pressure through the corners. They are forcing these saves from NRG. That clear helps buy time, but in this moment, NRG looking for a sustained drive downfield. Garrett trying to start things. The cut off there from Squishy. He will get out just around 1. Can't win the 50. Joyo bumped off the play. Right back to Team Queso. Rise circling in for the contest. It's possession of no one. Justin right back up. Intercepted by Joyo.
And how many times have we said that? Someone going up from NRG and Joyo there to deny as the final minute is upon us, and both teams yet again all knotted up. Vatira denying that ball. Joyo gets a nice demo over on Justin, and Vatira gets the dunk to go in for Team Queso, and they put themselves up 1.
I mean, this ground pitch to read from the side wall. It's Vatira at 58, the 50, the presence of mind to immediately point down and get that one on target. 3-2. Subi, could we be going to Game 5?
Oh my goodness, it is starting to feel like it, and you wouldn't want it any other way. The #1 seeds from both regions coming out of the winter split, and it's all gonna boil down to one game if Team Queso can just hold on.
28 seconds. It comes down to just half a minute. It's Joyo looking for the setup. The center is there from Rise. Rise securing it off the backboard, looking for the bump on Justin. NRG on defense now, corralling themselves into the corner, but another center, Garrett, has to play that one awkwardly. Here comes Rise. 9 seconds to go. NRG upfield.
Justin's up, Justin's in, and no, turned away by Vatira. Final moments, and Rise just gonna let it hit the ground, and Team Queso forcing game number 5.
This is the only way it was meant to go down. Team Queso, clutch up big. This team known for it across the board. NRG, push to the limit, and Team Queso have all the momentum on their side.
Oh my goodness, Team Queso, it took them a whole half to wake up, but after that, it was all Team Queso all the time. As we get to our Mobile One high performance replays, you're gonna see NRG up too early, but then it just boils down to the double demo coming out to open things up for Team Queso. And then when everything's on the line, Vatira gets the go-ahead goal.
It's been so tense between these two teams, consistently showing us their best. When NRG was making small adjustments, Team Queso slowed the game down, pulled the game laterally, forced a lot of one-on-one challenges that NRG just weren't able to handle. And in the end, they find themselves 2 goals and 1 for Joyo, a 3-2 win in Game 4. Coming up to Game 5, one of these teams is going home. Subi, it's as simple as that. Someone loses, they get sent home packing.
I cannot believe it's happening. I honestly can't, and everybody needs to make sure all their friends, family, all around the world are watching this one. This is going to be one for the ages, one for the record books, and Game 5 almost underway. It is just incredible that this is happening.
Queso is 11-2 in Game 5 and 7s this split so far. That's an 84.6% win rate. If NRG lose to Queso in Game 5, it'll be the worst loss for the organization at an RLCS LAN since Season 4 Worlds. Welcome to Game 5 presented by Lamborghini. You know it had to come down here, and you know it's going to take the next 5 minutes.
This opening kickoff, so important. NRG getting it off the rip, but the 50-50s have been so heavily in favor of Team Queso. And right now, Team NRG got to make sure that that one doesn't go in, but another shot from Vatira does sneak in off of the post and good, and Team Queso up by 1.
Man, the opening confidence from Joyo, that's a ridiculous extension. and Vatira right off the right post. Sigh of relief for Team Queso, but all composure from NRG. They know what's in front of them now. The task at hand, they have to respond. Off the kickoff, Rise, the hesitation, right over Squishy, saved once more.
Oh, but the breakaway play, but look at the great rotations from Team Queso. Vatira covering up the goal line, and here comes Joyo looking for a double. Does find it on target, but Garrett G gets the crucial save for NRG.
Man, these games have calmed down to OTs, and now it comes down to one more game with 5 minutes to go. Joyo circling around dangerously through the goal line, but here comes Squishy! You can't count him out, and he steps up big.
Squishy getting his first goal of the series off of this one, and it's off the mistouch from Joyo, and Rise trying to clean it up. Can't quite do so, and NRG put him back within reach.
Often overlooked for how good his passes can be, how good he is at finishing at the rim. Squishy once more ties it up. NRG finding themselves with plenty of time in Game 5. But Rise and the pressure have certainly been able to mount the comeback before, right off the backboard. Team Queso looking for more. Vatira on target. Oh, it's an own goal, but Vatira, so much power, and it goes in regardless.
He just puts the heat on the sauce, and the ball too heavy to stop. And Squishy coming across the top of the net can't do anything to keep that one out.
You've worked so hard if you're NRG to get in this position. It's stuff like that that hurts the most, more than any other goal. Still plenty of time. Team Queso looking for their third, but Squishy, potentially his second. Justin is there.
Oh.
Squishy right back down, back to midfield. It's a one-on-one. The pass, the redirect, not good.
And how crucial was that demo there to relieve the pressure from the general NRG. Garrett G surely would have had that cleanup, but nobody in position after that. Is Squishy gonna back pass over to Justin, just trying to air dribble and just denied by Vatira mid-air yet again.
That midfield pressure for NRG starting to mount a little bit more. They've been finding one another, winning some of those 50s, and a big clear out by Justin just buys NRG time. It comes for one circulation, one extra boost, one extra bump, demo, whatever you want to call it. Oh, Rise off the ceiling, the center there. Justin read it perfectly.
Yeah, but still, ball stuck in the corner. Those things are just made out of Velcro right now, and Rise gets denied, and Squishy gets a much-needed touch. Nobody has boost in net for NRG, and Rise gonna capitalize.
Oh, they're starting to chirp, but you can hear the song all the way across the field. With so much time, it's Vatira on the pass, and Rise gets right between the defense.
Just boils down to all that boost stealing, all that thirst coming out from Team Queso, and they keep refilling in NRG's half.
You have to breathe if you're NRG. Slow the game down. Maybe
Flip.
It's up to Squishy. Was holding the reset for as long as possible. Justin can't win the one-on-one. Vatira with the save. Here comes Garrett, the captain, with Joyo. Escapes. Rise on the wing. A shovel pass down. No needed. Here comes Vatira off the top bar, off the backboard. Squishy to Garrett. Still somewhat on target, but not enough power, Subi.
The shot too wide on that one, and NRG got to do something on these transition plays as Vatira up off the crossbar. Joyo with the shot and Garrett G with the boom. This one could be over Rise, but gets the much needed touch and the double tap to put it over to the side wall.
That second tap is huge, but here comes Squishy on the challenge, read perfectly by Team Queso. Joyo misses his extension, and all of a sudden, it's numbers into the corner for NRG. Intercepted yet again. Vatira trying to extend, but here's Rise and Justin with a second touch off the ground. Squishy extending towards the side wall. Now flying upfield. Garrett is certainly there, but will get caught with the demo, and Vatira will steal the ball away.
Into the corner goes. Nice center pass, but Joyo turned away by Garrett G. And for NRG, they have to get to work now. Still only down 2 goals, 2 minutes to work with. But boy, oh boy, would it feel good to have 1 to go and just plenty of time to work with. But Vatira trying to get this ball cleared. Justin with a much needed 50-50, and NRG still searching for some offense. Team
Queso are playing this like there's 30 seconds left in this Game 5. NRG need to match that, and they need it now. Not a lot of time left, but Justin with a half-flip redirect won't get it to land. It's a great save from Joyo. An escape downfield. Rise on the 1v1. The dog! Oh, it's improbable! Rise yet again!
Rise flexing on the goal line, gets this ball straight through Garrett G, and Team Queso extend their lead to 3.
80 seconds to go. NRG's tournament life hangs in the balance of the time And the pressure from Team Queso. Rise, not once more, taken away.
NRG have to have one on this offensive push. Garrett G couldn't find one, and Joyo, great save put on that ball, and with this clear, NRG have so much work to put in. 1 minute remains. They need a goal every 20 seconds.
They can start here. You have to believe it's possible. Queso have done so well at mitigating the pressure from Garrett, at limiting those infield passes from Squishy, and taking away the mechanics of Justin. It's been a team effort. It's been 3-man up at a time. It's been Rise doing just that on those occasions. 36 seconds now. Team Queso, one of the last hopes for Europe alongside BDS. But down to Justin, a chance off the bar again. NRG cannot buy a goal.
That is it. They went all in, and Team Queso called their bluff. And Team Queso, for the first time ever, gonna be playing at the Winter Major in front of a live audience at the YouTube Theater. Man, oh man, I can't believe it.
If you would have told me that NRG don't even make it to Saturday of the Major, I would have told you you're absolutely wicked. It's done. Queso send the General NRG on an early flight.
And Vatira gets the exclamation point for good measure, and they are just gonna salute to the General and send them packing.
What a way to do it. 11-2 in game 5s and 7s this split, and they add more to that column. The clutch factor is absolutely unheard of. Team Queso take down the General NRG in mind-boggling fashion.